Bandpencil is an event management software, and this allows you to manage all of your events from one place, from invoicing, contracts, to quotes, to setting up your musicians. You can do it all from Bandpencil. And to give you a really good demo of how this works, I'm going to show you from start to finish how you would add a new event to Bandpencil. So the first thing you need to do is create a new event. Now you can do this via your lead capture form or from your dashboard by clicking new event. And we're going to schedule the event of Kate and James. Now, they've just contacted me, so their event status is inquiry, but you can change it to these event statuses if you already know where it is. We know the location is going to be the Green Park Hotel, and the date's going to be the 1st of July, 2026. I know the timings, they've told me it's going to be 7 until midnight, but that is 23:59 there. And we're just going to leave the rest of it blank, but we're going to put a referral source of Google search. So once we've done that, we're now into the event management page here, and we can get ourselves set up. So you can see from that information we've already put in, Bandpencil's automatically put in the date, the times, the referral sources, and the status, as well as the location. What we're going to do now is we're going to start to build out this event. So they would like a quote before going forward. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a quote. Then we're going to come back to the information, and we know that they want to hire the band, and we're also going to put in a few optional extras in there for them to decide. So we can put new services in here, but I've already got them saved in Bandpencil. So we're going to put the standard function band here, and we're going to add this to the invoice. So I don't need to duplicate this. I'm going to add it to the quote at 1,500. We're going to add that one. We're also going to add a few additional extras, such as learn the first dance, so we can add that to the quote automatically. And we're also going to give them the option of the DJ between the sets. We're going to add that one to the quote as well. So we've added our services here. We've got our location. We can add some files. So if they've given me any files such as floor plans, directions on how to get there, we can upload them so we can save them. But what we can also do is share files through the client portal and also share files to the members through the member portal. Now we can upload one here, or we're going to link one. And I know my clients need the public liability insurance, so I'm going to link that file there, and I'm going to click this button so it's shared on the client portal. Now, once I get more information about the event, I can start to edit this information here, and I can click this button here and go through loads of different fields and add that in, from private notes to noise limit information, whether food's provided, what the dress code is for the performers or the band, what the performance room and the green room is, and I can set timings for setups and the actual times of the gig. Moving on, we can add some notes, so we can add some tasks here. So I know I need to invoice the client, so I can add that in there, and then I can set a due date for the end of February to do that one. I can also take notes, so if the client we've had a phone call and I need to record what's said, I can add the notes into there and they will save to Bandpencil. Next up, we can look at the members. So we need to ask our members if they're available to perform at this gig. And to help me out, I know that I'm going to be booking a 5-piece band. So I've already got a template saved in here. So I'm going to change the template, and it's going to add in all of the instruments that I need to fill. So I'm going to start with bass guitar. Let's add Jane, put them a fee of 300, assign them in. Let's just add drums as another example. Let's add Dan. Again, 300, and we're going to add the members in here, and you can see that they're listed in here. They've also appeared here, so I know that they're ready to go in the template and their fees have been set. If I need to change any of their information, I can use this options button here and go through. So if I want to add a personal message, or if I know their availability already, I can change that here. I can also decide whether it's visible on the member portal, whether I want them to submit an invoice, and if I need a performer contract, so a contract between me and the performer, I can amend that here. So I don't need any of that, so that's absolutely fine. Next, going forward, we can look at our finances. So this is where all of our quote information is. Now, some of these are optional and some of these are not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this quote as a builder quote, and I'm going to give them till the end of February to complete this. I'm going to update that. Now, the function band is required because that's what they've hired us for, but they can optionally have the first dance and DJ between sets there. I'm just going to remove this invoice here because I don't need that one there. You can see Band Pencil's automatically started to calculate what my costs are. So the musicians I've added, it's going to cost me 600. And so the profit at the moment is minus 600, but that will change once they've accepted things. Next, we can look at equipment. So if you need to list any special equipment, or if you want to list the equipment that you're going to need for the event, you can start to assign equipment based on the equipment that's already stored in your account. So for example, I could just add a mixing desk to the equipment there. If you're using Band Pencil to manage your set lists, you can design your own set list within Band Pencil, and then you can assign a set list by selecting one of your set lists, and that will automatically populate it here. Or if you prefer to hand type your set list, you can just add it as a set list note and it will appear within Band Pencil. Moving on, we can add our client into this. So we can either choose a client if it's a pre-existing client, or we can add a new client, and we can either select their first name, or we can add both Kate and James in here, and we can just give them an example email address there, and that will save all of their information. So that's a new client added into the software. We want to put a contract in here. So I've got contracts which I've already created in my account, and it's going to be the standard event contract. I would like them to sign it by the end of March, just to give them enough time. And I can go through and I can change any of this. So I can add different information in. I can decide whether I want the event information to be displayed, whether the contract's visible in the client portal, and whether I want to make this contract available to sign. From here, I can also email the contract if I need to. So it will automatically create an email, and I can go through and send that to the client. And finally, we get our client portal. So if I click this little button here, it's going to show all of this information within the client portal, so they can have a look at all of this that they need to do. So let's have a look at that quote first. So we can see that they've got a builder quote. So it's saying select the items you want by selecting the checkboxes and then accept the quote. So let's say I'm the client and we decide we want the first dance, and yeah, why not? We'll have the DJ. And you can see that the quote is automatically changing here. So we're going to accept that quote. Once they've accepted that quote, you'll receive an email, but we can see that the quote has been accepted here. And we can just click this little button to convert the quote directly to an invoice. So when they're back on their client portal, they'll see that the quote has been accepted and that there's an invoice due very shortly. They can also see those files that they've seen we've assigned here, so they can go through and they can download those files. And finally, they can click view and sign the contract, and it'll say, please sign this by the end of March. And they can go through, they can review everything they need, and then they can send the confirmation email so that they can sign the contract. So that's pretty much how you manage an event within Band Pencil. Some little extra things you can do. So on your emails, you can email the client and you can select a template. So you can save email templates in. So if we want the client, if we want to give them access to the client portal, we can create a template, explain what it is. We can also attach files, give it a subject. We can also click on advanced to change the image that the email is going to have, and we can schedule the email to send at a future date. We can also do this for members. So we can see we've got the 2 members in. We can click the box to say include event information. And likewise, we can select a template, so a new gig offer, and we can attach any files there. Once a musician receives that email, they can then go into their member portal and they can accept the gig that way and see all the event information. There's a separate video on that, so I highly recommend you have a look to see how that works. And then finally, you can download a worksheet, so you can export all of this information to PDF and save it if you don't have internet, or if you need to send it to a supplier. This is a perfect thing to do, and you can take out things like private notes or members and equipment and set lists, and then you can just send that information on. So that's how you manage an event with Band Pencil.